Let's talk a little bit about the relationship of all of the various song sections to the central idea. Whether that central idea, the statement of the central idea, the statement of the title of the song is a chorus, or whether it's, as in The Great Pretender, the opening of a verse, or as in Still Crazy After All These Years, the closing of a verse, where we'll call it a refrain. But the relationship between the basic information of the song given by the verses and the statement of the central idea. Bernice went through preschool, grammar school, high school, and college with her best friends, Ashley, Brittany, Nicole, Caitlin, and Samantha. They were best friends, 6 best friends. Now, it has to be said that Bernice was not the brightest light on the Christmas tree. Bernice was not the funniest, not the smartest, not the most athletic, not the best personality, not the prettiest. But she was a good and loyal friend. And as they grew and grew together, everyone loved Bernice for her quality as a great listener and someone who would always be supportive. The girls all loved her. Things started getting a little complicated in high school when boys started coming around. Because the boys seemed to gather primarily around Caitlin and Samantha, and the other girls too, but Bernice was always left in the shadows. And when they started actually dating, she was often home alone on Friday night, or in the group where all of the other girls had somebody they were with and then Bernice didn't. Bernice was the one who would always get fixed up with the second cousin from Milwaukee. So that as they went into college and started getting into serious relationships, Bernice felt a little more and a little more and a little more out of the loop, and the girls were so hopeful that sometime, some way, Bernice would find someone. And then, in physical health class, Bernice found Edwin. Edwin thought that Bernice hung the moon. And the girls were all so excited. And it got deeper and it got deeper, and they went everywhere together until on Christmas that year, Edwin gave Bernice an engagement ring. And Bernice called the girls, and they did the girl squeal. They were all so happy. And then the date was set. And Bernice's mom, who was no fool, took Bernice to the wedding dress store. They looked and they tried, they looked and tried another one on, and tried another one on, and another one, and another one. It is for such a long time, till finally Bernice's mom found the dress. And in the dress, Bernice looked better than she had ever looked in her entire life. All of the great qualities that Bernice had were highlighted by the dress. And those that she wasn't so sure about were all diminished by the dress. So she looked fabulous. She said, "Oh, Mom, I love you so much. This is so wonderful." Her mom said, "Thank you, honey. You look so beautiful." And Bernice said, "Thanks, Mom. Okay, let's now get some dresses, pick out some dresses for the girls." She said, "There's some really great dresses over here. Come on, Mom." And her mom said, "Come back here, darling," and led her over to a rack on which hung 5 purple taffeta sacks. And Bernice said, "Oh, Mom, I don't know. And Mother said, "Bernice, trust me." She said, "Okay, Mom." Said, "The girls will love them. They'll wear them everywhere." And so it was done. Ashley, Brittany, Nicole, Caitlin, and Samantha in purple taffeta sacks. And the day of the wedding, the music begins. And down the aisle, one by one, Ashley, Brittany, Nicole, Caitlin, and Samantha, all walking down the aisle, slightly uncomfortable in their purple taffeta sacks. And the congregation turns to look. Goes, "Oh, I always thought she was better looking than that." And as they paraded one by one, the boyfriends and the husbands of these girls were saying, oh, they were slightly embarrassed because they didn't look that good. And then the doors flung open, bum, dum, da, and here comes Bernice in the dress. And everybody goes, "Oh, she's so gorgeous." And all of the husbands and boyfriends, I could have had her. It's gorgeous. And there's Bernice in the dress, looking great for 2 reasons. Number 1, because she's wearing the dress. And number 2, because everything around her has been diminished in order to highlight her. That is the relationship between the secondary sections of your song, the development sections of your song, and the chorus. And that what you need to do is try to put your chorus in the dress. But then be quite careful not to diminish that dress by anything that happens before it. So, for example, if the dress has to do with a really special chord or a really high note, that chord or that note probably should not appear before it appears in the chorus. So that as the verse walks down the aisle, it should interest people to some degree. It should invite them in. But it's not the dress. The dress is Bernice's sole property. The story of Bernice. The end.